Good afternoon and good evening. I am back with my screencasts. Hopefully this works. And this is a perfect opportunity to do your homework while with me to review horizontal and vertical lines, kind of refresh what we did in the beginning of this unit and earlier today in class. Remember, vertical lines go up and down and intersect the x-axis and they're x equals lines. Horizontal lines go from left to right and they intersect the y-axis and they are y equals lines. So for each of the following, give the equation of the line shown. Well, let's take a look. This is a vertical line, therefore it's going to be x equals. Where does it hit that x-axis? When x equals -1. Every point on that line has an x value of -1, which is why we name it x equals -1. B is a horizontal line. It's intersecting the y-axis, so it is a y equals line. It intersects the y-axis right here at y equals 4. Therefore, its equation is y equals 4. C, vertical line, intersecting when x equals 5. So that means it's the line x equals 5. D, another vertical line, intersecting the x-axis here at -4, giving it the name x equals -4. E is a horizontal line intersecting the y-axis at -1, so its equation is y equals -1. And we're finishing off with x, another horizontal line through the y-axis at 3, giving it the name y equals 3. Okay, so that's naming these from a graph. We can also name them given a description of the line and a point that the line is going through. So A says a vertical line. Automatically, vertical line, you say x equals. And then grab your x value. So this line is x equals 4. B says a horizontal line that passes through the point -2, 3. Every time you hear horizontal line, you think y equals, and then grab your y value. Y equals 3. C and D you might have to do a little thinking about, or maybe draw a little sketch for yourself so that you can determine whether it is a horizontal or vertical line. So I'm going to sketch myself a quick little XY axis here. All right, and C, I'm going to do this one in blue. C is describing a line parallel to the x-axis. Well, here's your x-axis. What kind of lines are parallel to that line? Other horizontal lines. So therefore, this is going to be a horizontal line, which would be y equals, and we grab the y value. Okay, next, a line perpendicular to the x-axis. I'll do this one in green. Oops, green I said. So here's the x-axis. Perpendicular lines are lines that intersect, creating 90-degree angles. So these types of lines are perpendicular to the x-axis. And those are vertical lines. Vertical lines are x equals lines. So our equation is x equals 5. We're grabbing the x value. All right, let's turn to the next page, and we're going to graph some lines. First, we're going to identify the type of line, and then we'll graph it. So this is good review for graphing lines, which we have a test on Thursday. All of this will be on our test on Thursday and on our midterm next week. A, y equals 3/5 x minus 2. This is a slanted line. Your y-intercept is -2, so I'm putting a point there. And the slope is +3/5. So we either go up 3 and to the right 5, or down 3 and to the left 5. Draw a nice straight line through those points. Arrows on the ends, and we label it. Y equals 3/5 x minus 2. All right. Next, y equals 6. Y equals lines are horizontal. So go to your y-axis. Put a point at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just draw a nice straight horizontal line through that point. Y equals 6. Y equals negative x plus 7. Again, I want to remind you, when your equation contains both an x and a y, it is slanted. So this is another slanted line with a y-intercept of 7. So that's this point right here. And a slope of negative 1. So we're going to go down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1, and so on. Draw your line. Label it. Y equals negative x plus 7. X equals negative 4. We know that x equals our vertical lines. So go to the x-axis and put a point at negative 4 and draw a vertical line through that point. And label it x equals negative 4. Last, we have another x and y line, which means it is slanted. Y-intercept is 1, and our slope is 2, or 2 over 1. So you put a point at 1, and we're either going to go up 2 into the right 1, up 2 into the right 1, up 2 into the right 1, or down 2 into the left 1, down 2 into the left 1, down 2 into the left 1. Draw a nice straight line, arrows, and label y equals 2x plus 1. We are almost done. One more problem to do, similar to the last problem we did in class. We got a little cut off there, so I finished it and posted that in our classwork post in Google Classroom, if you want to check that out. But we've got 4 lines to graph here, horizontal and vertical lines, and they are going to create a rectangle. We're going to graph these lines and then find the area of the rectangle. All right, so I'm going to do, actually I have 2 more problems. All right, x equals negative 4. X equals lines, intersect the x-axis. That line looks like this. X equals 3. Put your point at 3. Vertical line. Y equals negative 2. Now we're going to intersect the y-axis with a horizontal line. And y equals positive 2 is going to be another horizontal line through y equals positive 2. All right, so it looks like we've got a little rectangle here. Like they were saying, area of a rectangle equals length times width, or base times height. So I'm just going to count across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have a length or a base of 7 and a width or a height of 1, 2, 3, 4, which gives me an area of 7 times 4, which gives me an area of 28 units squared. And number 5, kind of going backwards here. We have our lines graphed. We have our triangle. We're going to name these lines and then give the area of the triangle. So the vertical line, I'll do in green, is this line right here. Where does it hit that x-axis? At negative 2. So the vertical line is x equals negative 2. Where is your horizontal line? I'm going to do that one in purple. That's down here. Where does that intersect the y-axis? At negative 5. So that line is y equals -5. And great review of our slanted lines. In order to write the equation of a slanted line, we know we need two things. We need slope and we need the y-intercept. We'll do that one in pink. So here's that line. Where is the y-intercept? We want to identify that first. It's right here. So our B is 1. Then we pick another point on our line and see what we have to do to get there to get our slope. And so if I go from my y-intercept to the point I just put on my line, I have to go down 2, which is a negative direction, and then to the right 1, which is a positive direction. So our slope is -2 over 1, or just -2. And then we write our equation, y equals mx plus b, y equals -2x plus 1. All right, so in blue, let's find our base and our height here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a base of 5. Height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is a height of 10. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. So 1/2 times 5 times 10 gives me an area of 25 units squared. All right, that's our homework for tonight, and also a good review for what's coming up on our test on Thursday and that midterm next week. We will review for both in class tomorrow. Have a great night.